Send us a text on the WNSR text line, 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text, same number.
Oh, righty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
And a good Wednesday afternoon to you. And yes, it is time for the McFarland Show here on National Sports Radio. Darren and Justin here with you. We are live here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Damon Keene is alongside for the ride for the next 2 hours. You can watch the show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Oh, I see some adjustments have been made.
Yes. The audio and video engineers here at WNSR
Wow, very nice.
have been inside, and as you can see, there's a slight difference between yesterday and today.
While I learned something, you were talking over my head yesterday, but it was fun conversation. Very TV-like, but it was good.
It was TVEs. Yes, it was.
It looks good today, though. Well done. 615-844-5600 is how you get in touch with us. We're going to try to cram everything in here today as we can. Obviously, we are off tomorrow for Thanksgiving and for Friday. Hope everybody, whoever goes out there and shops on Friday, good luck to you. I'll be thinking about you while I'm at home. I'm not getting out in that mess.
Okay.
No chance.
Yeah, no problem.
No chance.
I've been out there for years.
Mm-mm.
I was out there for years covering that.
No.
There's been a shift. So, it's not as bad as it used to be.
I mean, obviously, more people order. So you're not going to have as many people. And there are just less stores. There just are.
Yeah.
There was a company called Bed Bath & Beyond.
I remember that.
That was a big store.
Yes.
They don't exist anymore.
No, they don't.
They were one that, you could frequent on Black Friday, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of those that just
There's a lot of those
that went bye-bye.
That were around that aren't around.
Sadly.
Yeah. There was this place called Circuit City.
Circuit City. Wow, you went way back in the throwback. I mean, what are we going to do next?
It's not really that far back.
Service merchandise?
Service merchandise. There you go.
Boy, Damon perked up when I said service merchandise.
Service merchandise story. My first job in Nashville.
Was it really?
Service merchandise. I worked in the warehouse. And you know how you order stuff? You send it down the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
I was the one sent it down. So anyway.
My first job in Nashville 25 years ago was this place called WNSR.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think that place is still open.
I think it is.
I think so. They're still kicking.
We're here now.
They were 24-hour sports back then.
Yes.
They were the only one in town.
Yes.
And Justin, you may remember, I don't know if you heard of Birds I'm Here.
I do, man. Why are you
that
doing
was
that?
my second job.
Why are you doing that?
I just thought I know he remembered that the suit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Darren, man.
Birds I'm Here.
Yeah. Since you were going back in
the buy one, get one free suits.
Yeah, buddy.
There you go.
I did live remotes and got free suits. That was my pay.
Of course you did.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That sounds about right. That sounds
like Damon King, doesn't it?
Just to round it off, by the way, my first job was the Food Max on Gallatin Road in Madison. That's no longer there. Yeah. But that rounds us off there.
Hey, let's go hit the cooker after the show if you guys want.
Man, I wish we
you
could.
Want to do that? Yeah.
Listen, I wish we could.
And for dinner, let's hit Houston.
It's not
on West.
No. Ponderosa.
Ponderosa. Man, that's been a minute.
We went from cooker to Houston's, and then Damon's like, hey, how about Ponderosa?
How about Ponderosa? You want to bring up Quincy's just to round it off there?
Yeah, those fat rolls.
Get the yeast rolls.
Give me a tray.
Oh, I'm leaving right now.
Piccadilly's.
It's too much work. You got to walk down the line, ask for things.
Yeah.
We just like to sit down at a table and order.
Yeah, that's where we are now.
By the way, we could play this game for
a really long time.
For the entire show.
And let's not get some of our other callers to call in. I'm sure they can, chime in with stuff that probably even you and I have never heard of.
Yeah.
If you go back far enough in the Wayback Machine.
We told you Tennessee and Purdue were going to do battle last night in the Maui Invitational. They did. Tennessee fell in a tight game. That Zach Edey guy, this just in, pretty good and pretty tall.
Yeah.
So the Vols fall. Right now we're watching, let's see, we've got Tennessee and Kansas tied at 28 out in Maui with about 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. So there you go. Number 1, Kansas, and number 7, Tennessee. So Kansas lost to Marquette last night?
Yes, they did.
How about that?
Yeah, I mean, but It's
pretty cool.
It's Maui, and we're in November.
I know, but that's the point is.
Yeah.
That's 4 top 7 teams in the country playing in the same venue on the same night against each other.
Yeah.
That's doing it the right way.
That
if you're
is.
college basketball.
That is.
Right?
Plus, they got to fight the referees all night last night, but then that's a whole different story.
Yeah, that's a totally different
Kansas and Marquette actually had a fight that broke out, too, at the end of the game.
So, I did not see that.
A lot of people didn't think Marquette was going to win that game. They looked pretty good, man.
Well, they're number 4 team in the country, so
Yeah.
clearly they're
kind of a
pretty good.
shocker.
When you have the 7 of them in together, there can't be any shockers here. I mean, there could be some minor upsets at best, but if the number 17 beats the number 2 seed, is it really all that surprising when they play at the level that they're playing here? I mean, it's you're getting everybody's best shot, and somebody's gonna scoop in and win a couple of games here. But it's cool to see. It's a good measuring stick for where your program is, I think, at this point.
So we're going to head to Carolina here very, very soon. We're going to talk to their play-by-play man, Anish Shroff, who is the voice of the Panthers. We'll learn a little bit more about the opponent for the Titans. We'll have our NFL Top 10 at 3 o'clock. We'll also get a McFarland 6-pack of picks in before we get out of here. So a lot on our plate here on this Wednesday. Watched the first installment of Hard Knocks last night.
What'd you think?
With the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Liked it. I liked it a lot. Mike McDaniel's is an interesting cat. I expected for him to be interesting. He's just different than, I guess, the standard head coach that you think of in the NFL. And we'll see how this all plays out, because last year, Arizona was the team in the middle of the season. And, I got on here on these airwaves and said, Cliff Kingsbury's going to get fired. And they look like they're a hot mess, and they were a hot mess. And they got off to a good start, and then it just crumbled, and Kyler Murray went down. He got fired. They cleaned house. New GM, which they brought Monty Austin-Fort from here.
Yeah.
I think the year before that was the Indianapolis Colts. That was the Carson Wentz year, and they completely crumbled at the end of the season, and they too did not make the playoffs, and that was starting the beginning of the end for Frank Reich. So if you're the Dolphins, you got to be going, exactly what did we sign up for again? But they're very, very talented. They focus obviously a lot on Tyreek Hill. They have lots of star power. Jalen Ramsey, they didn't. Not too much on him, which I thought was interesting, but obviously a lot on Tua. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
Yeah,
they're
see.
They're a very
right.
good team, and I don't know. It got me to thinking. We can talk about this a little bit later, but you do wonder. Well, there's been so much talk this week with us and everybody else about Mike Vrabel in the future, and he's not going anywhere anytime soon, but. You do look around the league, and it's guys like Mike McDaniels and the way teams are being built, and you just look at this team, and you're like, man, it does look right now like they're pretty far away. And I know the NFL, you can catch up quickly.
You can.
But they seem like they're pretty far away from the big boys, and I am starting to wonder, like, again, I'll just keep saying it. If you're going to keep Mike Vrabel, you've got to force him to get a more creative staff. He's got to do better with his staff, because you start looking at these staffs around the league, Justin, with some of these good teams, and guy there, Bevel, Darrell Bevel.
Okay.
Last night is the quarterbacks, offensive. I know Mike McDaniel for the Dolphins.
For the Dolphins, okay.
So again. I talk about you got to have guys with skins on the wall, been there, done it.
I see what you're saying.
And those type of guys that have been there and done it.
Yeah.
And then you can even mix up some, up-and-comers and guys that are different. Like, obviously, Mike McDaniels is one of those guys.
It's different, but Darren, we're going to differ a little bit on this. I'm not saying that they couldn't, do better by bringing in some new blood. I agree with that part. They could. But if you are going to keep Mike Vrabel, and if he's going to insist on a certain style of play, my thing has always been, and I've been on this, then do it.
Yeah.
Then do what you're good at or what you want to do, and go out there and do it. And that's been my biggest issue is they're not even doing what the old antiquated stuff that we've seen them do before. They haven't picked a direction.
They seem like they're a rudderless ship. Like they don't know. They're just kind of going with the tide. They don't know what they're trying to do. What direction are they going?
Yeah.
Like to your point. Like what are you? Are you running team? Tough nose? Defense? Well, none of that stuff
They don't
is
even
working.
look like the old Tecmo Bowl team anymore.
Right.
Now, I don't know what this is. And, that's what I've been trying to figure out all year is what is this? And from the New Orleans game to this one, I still don't have a much clearer view than I did after the New Orleans game, to be honest with you, about what they are trying to do offensively. I don't.
Well, why would you? what proof is there for you to be like, oh, yeah, that's what they are?
So, bringing in new blood is great, but, pick a direction.
All right, we'll come back. We'll catch up with the play-by-play voice of the Carolina Panthers, Anish Shroff, will join us next here on the McFarland Show, Nashville Sports Radio.
This is something I wish I'd known. Many people who live in Tennessee are eligible for help paying for healthy food for pregnant and new moms, their babies, and young children, but don't realize it. Family income can be higher than you think. There's a website called TennesseeMeals.com for more information. Assistance for healthy food for expectant moms and young children. This information I need to share. TennesseeMeals.com.
Brought to you by the Tennessee Justice Center, the Tennessee Association of Broadcasters, and
Post-COVID travel is on a surge. Many of you are traveling for fun because you've been locked up for 2 years. Listen, whether you're traveling for fun to Italy, Greece, Spain, France, or somewhere else fun in the world, or USA, now is a great time to book before the crowds hit and save. Plus, with a strong U.S. dollar, you'll get more travel bang for your buck. Right now is a smart time to make your reservations and call low-cost airlines. With one phone call, you can let us do all the work for free. We'll shop hundreds of airlines, hotels, resorts, and give you a way to save huge money on your vacation plans. And if you call right now, we'll give you a free hotel room with a qualified travel purchase. So call right now.
800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. That's 800-704-1662.
When you've experienced the loss of a loved one, you can trust SAG Funeral Home to guide you through the process of honoring their life. At SAG Funeral Home, they pride themselves in serving families in Nashville and surrounding areas with dignity, respect, and compassion. The staff is experienced in a variety of funeral services and can help you celebrate your loved one, no matter your religion, culture, or budget. Family and veteran-owned funeral home and cremations now are handled all in one location. We'll help create a personalized experience to pay tribute to your loved one's unique life. Ask about the pre-planning service as well. SAG Funeral Home, serving Nashville and Middle Tennessee for over 40 years. In your time of need, you need someone you can trust who can provide comfort to your family in a very professional way. SAG Funeral Home, 1503 Buchanan Street. Call today, 615-244-5044. 615-244-5044. SAG Funeral Home, for comfort and care in your time of need. SAG Funeral Home, proud sponsor of TSU football on WNSR.
Tease the season at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for holiday specials this year. Featuring the Callaway Paradigm Woods, forged carbon for unparalleled distance and forgiveness. Now up to $100 off. And from Bushnell, the new Tour V6 Series laser rangefinders provide you the most accurate distances in golf. There's always gift cards in any amount for the special golfer you're shopping for. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is home with a 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Shop us in store or online at worldwidegolf.com.
It's the NFL on Sports USA, and we're in Las Vegas as the Raiders welcome the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. The Raiders have Jacobs and Devontae on offense and a monster on the D in Max Crosby. Mahomes and the Chiefs will always move the chains swiftly, thanks to Travis Kelce.
He's in! Touchdown, Kansas City!
It's the Chiefs and the Raiders this Sunday on Sports USA.
Coverage begins at 3 p.m. exclusively on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Titans fans, Preds fans, the McFarland Show has you covered. Give us a call, 615-844-5600. The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Rolling along on this Wednesday afternoon here in Music City, the day before Thanksgiving. Darren and Justin, we are the McFarlands, and we are live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. We are not in Hawaii. That's where the Tennessee Vols are playing basketball against Kansas right now. Jayhawks lead 34-32, about a minute and a half to go in the first half. And then, of course, that is the Maui Invitational. I don't think it'll feel like Maui here in Nashville on Sunday.
No, it won't.
It's probably going to start feeling like fall and even a hint of winter. Our weather has been so good.
Start feeling like fall? It doesn't feel like fall today?
It does. It does.
Let's see. What's outside right now?
The Carolina Panthers will be in town, and we have their fine play-by-play man, Anish Shroff, is on the line with us. Anish, how you doing?
I could use Hawaii right about now.
It wouldn't be a horrible thing, would it?
No. It's been that kind of season.
I bet you've had more trips to Hawaii than us, though.
You know what? I actually did go there this summer, so I did get there for a vacation this summer.
Yeah.
So you get that music going. I'm like, all right, that's a nice place to be right about now.
Is it? It feels like with this game, it's like the first team to 17 is going to win. That's what it feels like on our end. What about on your end?
Yeah, it's funny. I was telling somebody the other day, I was on another radio show, and they said, what's the formula for the Carolina Panthers right now? And, the reality is offense has been a struggle. It's been a struggle all season, and there's a lot of different factors. Part of it is turnovers and penalties, and you're beating yourself. Part of it is lack of explosive plays. So when you do score, you got to go 15 plays, 75 yards, and you hope you don't get behind the chains. So everything is hard on offense. And as you guys know, you follow the NFL, in this league, there's maybe 4 or 5 teams that have a margin of error that is, gives you a little leeway. We saw 2 of them on Monday night. Then there's about 25, 26 teams that have a very thin and slim margin for error. And then there's, the group of 5 or 6 at the end that don't really have a margin for error. And the Titans and the Panthers fall in that camp. So for Carolina, the formula is you got to play really sound defense, and they've actually been pretty good despite a lot of injuries on that side of the ball. Some of the points per game numbers are skewed because of things like pick sixes and turnovers in your own territory. And then you've got to be good on special teams, and you got to win field position. And it may come down to Johnny Hekker punting and, making field goals when you have the opportunity. I don't expect this to be a high-scoring game, and the way Carolina is playing right now, we can't win a high-scoring game.
Yeah, well, neither can the Titans. So I don't think that's in the formula for either team. So it's the battle of the rookie quarterbacks. Will Levis here, Bryce Young. We sit here in SEC country, so we watch Bryce Young in his college days. Number one pick overall. Anish, what has been kind of, the feelings? It's still very early in both their careers. We don't know what they are yet, but what's been kind of the early returns on Bryce Young? I'm sure it's been a slower start than he would like it.
Yeah, and it's so hard to evaluate because I think that we thought things around him would be better, especially on the offensive line. And that's kind of been the biggest disappointment on this offense. We knew you had to trade a DJ Moore to get him. There goes your best weapon from a skill position player standpoint. The running game hasn't really been great. Adam Thielen's been terrific, but Adam Thielen on a really good team is a number 3 wide receiver and a damn good one. But he's an underneath guy. He's a slot guy. He's not going to beat anybody over the top. And we really have not had guys who can take the top off the defense, who can make plays in space. I think going into last week, we had 21 explosive plays the entire season, which was second to last in the NFL. So it's been hard to get a real good read on Bryce Young just because what has been around him has been underwhelming this season. And then the interior of the offensive line, there have been a couple injuries. So Chandler Zavala is a rookie left guard, and, he's taking his lumps. They lined up Micah Parsons over him a lot last Sunday, and Parsons had 3 sacks. At right guard, Austin Corbett was coming off a torn ACL. He was really good last year. Well, he missed the first 6 weeks. So it was plug and play, figuring out right guard. Corbett comes back, and then he suffers an injury on that surgically repaired knee. He was put on IR today. So essentially we're down our 2 starting guards. And as you guys know, when the play gets blown up from the middle, from the center at the point of attack, the quarterback's got no chance. It doesn't matter how good you are.
Yeah, certainly the Titans have had their fair share of problems and woes and injuries, and not good on offensive line play as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. We've talked a lot on the show this season.
It's going to be a therapy session on Sunday.
I know. Honestly, it's been rough here. It's been rough, obviously, in your market. And yeah, it's I don't look. I think in Carolina, you guys know you have the number 1 pick, and I know you traded up, but you know that. But you got a Frank Reich, a guy who's been a head coach, who's in this division. You know, I think probably the aspirations were a little bit higher than they've been, and then here, you know, we just haven't seen Mike Vrabel bottom out. They cratered at the end of last season, but Mike Vrabel, as we talked about yesterday on the show, everywhere he's been, and he's from starting his playing days at Ohio State all the way to now, all he's ever been on is winning teams. And, you know, this team looks pretty far right now removed from being a winning team.
It does. And, you know, with I can't speak to Tennessee, but with Carolina, well, you know, really the one, I think, common thread here when you have 2 young quarterbacks, though, is I think sometimes we forget about the value of continuity. I know we live in a world, right? We want to hit the reset button, blow in the cartridge, let's start over. Let's go, you know, get somebody else. Let's go get somebody else. But you got a Will Levis, you got a Bryce Young. To me, especially in a season like this, their development.
Anish, you there? Anish, are you there?
Uh-oh. He's on there. Did he hit mute?
Unsure. Okay.
Let's
We've
retry.
lost him.
Let's
Okay.
retry.
We can try to get him back there. You know, where he was going with that, I think, you know, obviously he'll fill in for himself, but just talking about where they're going with the development of them and how crucial this development is here, I think, in year 1 for both of the quarterbacks, for both Will Levis and for Bryce Young here, and to try to get them, you know, make sure their confidence is, you know, intact. I don't know if I buy into it, Darren. You know, I'm sure we'll get Anish back here in a second, but that you can shoot a quarterback's confidence in year 1 and shake them to the point where they're just broken in year 1. I've never subscribed to that. I
don't believe in that.
I understand the point,
yeah,
but I don't really believe that. So if a quarterback has a disastrous year, their entire career is over and defined by the rookie season. I've never bought into that, but I've heard that narrative out there over and over again. People think that's what Josh Rosen's problem was.
Yeah, that's just not true. Let's go to Anish Rafi. I think he's back with us. I don't know if it was mute or mute button or something happened. I don't know. We lost you, but you're back.
I'm back. Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
So I think we were talking about the development and, you know, both teams and just, I guess, your situation in Carolina where, you know.
Yeah. You know, I think you guys brought up a good point, right? We're so quick to, again, make these far-ranging predictions on what a kid is going to be after a handful of starts. You got to see it. You got to let it play out. And I think the one thing that I keep in the back of my mind here is a lot of the noises surrounding the Panthers. What's best for Bryce Young? Because in the midst of what has been a dark season, in the midst of what's been, you know, probably a season we're not going to make the playoffs barring a miracle, the beacon of hope is that you hope you have the franchise quarterback. Tennessee, I'm sure, feels the same way with Will Levis. And you have to really look hard and say, is, again, shuffling the deck of cards in the best interest of the development of a young quarterback? And to me, everything falls on Bryce Young and his development. If he is the guy, you got to make sure you have stability and you have the right infrastructure and you have continuity to push him forward. You know, Vrabel knows this better than anybody. Look at Tom Brady. Look at the continuity he had from the beginning of his career all the way through. Does that career arc happen the same way if Belichick gets fired and they bring in 3 offensive coordinators in the first 3 seasons? It makes it tough for a quarterback, especially a young quarterback. So, again, I think there's a lot of value in continuity and stability.
How's obviously there's new ownership in Carolina with David Tepper. What has that been like? It's always an interesting dynamic, right? We've only had the same family here.
Yeah.
I know Dad, was the owner, and then Dad passed away. Now his sibling, his kids have taken over, not siblings. His kids have taken over, and so it's still in the same, Adams family. How about there in Charlotte? How's it been with David Tepper?
I'll put it this way. I think fans obviously want to see a winning product, and there has not been a winning season since new ownership took over. But I think if you really do a deep dive, there were certain factors. When David Tepper bought the team, again, a lot of the stalwarts on the 2015 team that played in the Super Bowl were starting to get old. And then that first year, Cam Newton takes a hit from T.J. Watt. He's never the same. Luke Kuechly retires. Thomas Davis is gone. Christian McCaffrey had a couple of good years while they were sort of in a rebuild mode. And then he was getting hurt, and then he gets traded, right? So you have COVID. I don't think you can underestimate what that meant to a franchise when, again, you brought in Matt Rule, and his first 2 years is COVID, and nobody had a blueprint for that. And, again, everything is new, right? So how to navigate that. So they want to win. The Teppers want to win. They're invested. They put together this all-star coaching staff. They basically said, hey, when we hired Frank Reich, you've got a blank checkbook because there's no salary cap on coaches. And you look at our coaching staff. I mean, James Campen is the offensive line coach. Ejiro Evero is the D coordinator. He interviewed for head coaching jobs. Thomas Brown was a very well-respected up-and-coming offensive guy who was named the OC. Dom Capers and Jim Caldwell are, assistants, analysts on this staff. So they're invested. They want to win, and they pushed all in to go get the quarterback because that's what you need in this league. So, again, I think fans are always going to see it through the prism of wins and losses, but I'm in the building. I can see it. They want to win more than anybody.
Anish, I want to ask you about the number one criticism that I had. I'm not talking about the analysts. I'm just talking about me, of Bryce Young coming out of Alabama. And that was, I was afraid that he wasn't going to be durable enough because of his weight. And I said the same thing about Marcus Mariota, by the way, when he was here. I thought his frame was way too light, and I felt like some of the injuries he sustained was because he didn't gain the NFL weight that was necessary to take the hits. And I was afraid of the same thing with Bryce Young. Now, obviously, he's played all the games. He hasn't missed any time for injuries as far as I can see. What has that been like? Has there been extra protection, or, am I seeing things, or what have you seen as far as him trying to protect himself, or am I making this all up in my head?
Well, listen, I think when you have Bryce's build, that is always a concern. What the Panthers felt going into the season was they had a pretty good offensive line, and it was really good last year, and most of the pieces returned. The O-line has not been good this year. Bryce has been getting hit a lot. He's been sacked. I got to look at the exact numbers, but in the last 4 or 5 games, he's been getting sacked about 4 times a game. Dallas got him, I think, 6 or 7 times on Sunday. So he has still made it to this point of the season. He's been okay. He hasn't really shown up on a ton of injury reports. He missed 1 game against Seattle. That was early on. But I will say this, the 2 big fears about him, his build and his height, that hasn't really been a factor when it comes to how he's played this year.
Good to hear. Now, the other question I have about him, we had a game with Will Levis a few weeks ago against the Falcons where he flashed. He went for 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, set the city on fire. Everybody was eating mayonnaise. It was an amazing time here in Nashville.
Mayonnaise with coffee, right?
Mayonnaise with coffee and without. Just however people wanted to have it, people were doing it. Now, has Bryce Young flashed to that degree? Have you seen, what I'm asking is, have you seen the potential? Have you seen the thing like, yes, if we can harness that, we can go somewhere with that game, with that guy, with that kind of play?
In moments, yes. For a full game like you're talking about with Levis, no. And again, I think that has a lot to do with a little bit of what's surrounding him right now. But I do think Panther fans and really the Panther front office and the coaching staff need to see that from Bryce before the season's over. I've been saying since the preseason, the barometer of success for 2023 for the Panthers is if you can get to Week 18 and you can say definitively you've got the guy at the most important position. if you can definitively say that, it really doesn't matter what the record is, because now at some point you know you're entering a contention window. You just have to build around him, especially on his rookie contract. We want to say that. We really do. Can we definitively say that right now, if I'm being honest? No. Now, I've said it, especially leading up to the bye and the first game after the bye, which was the only win against Houston. I really felt Bryce had one of these games coming where he was going to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and you're going to go, whoa, that's why we took him. He's regressed the last 3 weeks. He hasn't played as well, and again, protection hasn't been there. There's a lot of other factors there, but when you take a guy number one, you're hoping he can, at least have a game or two like that in his rookie season, just to let people know, hey, this is why you took me with that number one pick. And I think over these next 7 games, he needs to at least have one of those.
All right. Anish, 2 more for you, and we appreciate your time real quick. The stadium talk here in Nashville, we're getting ready to break ground on a brand new $2.2 billion stadium that should be done by 2027. I've seen reports there in Charlotte that the Panthers want to try to do something in the $1.2 billion range with Bank of America Park or Stadium there. What is the latest with that? Has that moved anywhere?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Not to my knowledge.
Fair enough. Last but not least, I've got to ask you about your time at ESPN and Dream Job, which I know is going to follow you for the rest of your life, and I'm sure you know that and you understand that. But I don't really want to ask you about Dream Job. I want to ask you about one person in particular, and that person that has made such a huge impact on the sports broadcasting world, and that is the time you spent close to Stuart Scott. What kind of impact did he leave on you? Of course, Stuart Scott passed away about 10 years ago now. It's hard to believe it's been that long, or 8 or 9 years ago. But I just wanted to ask you about his influence on you and what that was like.
A profound one. He was a friend. He was a mentor. When I started at ESPN, his office door was always open to me. We had a number of long chats. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. He would talk about his daughters all the time, man. And I think of those girls who had such a great father. And the one thing Stuart used to tell me, he goes, hey, don't try to be anything besides yourself. The story goes, when Stuart started, there were executives at ESPN who would basically say, hey, you got to stop doing this stuff, this hip-hop,
the booyah
type of thing, booyah, like you got to stop. And one of them basically said, you're too black. And Stuart kind of looked at him and he goes, yeah, that's what the mirror says to me every morning. And he was authentically himself, unapologetically himself. And as I kind of, made my way through my career, especially in my early days at ESPN when I was doing more studio stuff than remote events, that always struck me. Hey, don't pare this down. Don't dumb this down. Be you. Amplify the best version of yourself. And I think as you get older and you get more mature and you fully unlock that, you sort of realize, it's okay if it's not for everybody, but you want to go down swinging being you, because if you try to pretend and be something that you're not, people see through that. And that was the great thing about Stu. That's what I always take away. And after Dream Job, the episode where I got booted off, Stu came to me and goes, hey, I'll see you in the business. And again, small line, I'm 21 years old. I'm thinking like, okay. But he looked at me again. He goes, no. He goes, I'll see you in the business. And, when you say that to somebody young and aspiring, it makes all the difference. And a gem of a human being, a really good guy, man. And just talking about it makes me miss him.
I love that story, by the way. Justin and I are blessed and lucky to be doing this as long as we have. Mm-hmm. We've been around the block a time or two, and I know we could probably swap stories on people who have tried to change us over the years and tell us what we should do. And it's like I would never conform to what somebody else wants me to. So I love that story, and I'm glad you told it. Anish, thank you so much for the visit. I think we're all going to need therapy session on Sunday, but hopefully it'll be a good game.
Hopefully it will. Thanks, guys. Enjoyed it.
Anish Shroff, who is the play-by-play man for the Carolina Panthers. Of course, they're in town on Sunday to take on the Titans. 2 teams, and only one's going to get a win. But both teams desperately need a win.
Real bad.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get your calls the rest of the hour while we're wide open. 615-844-5600. More of the McFarland Show next.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
In Tennessee, 967,430 people struggle with hunger, and 295,570 of them are children. That's 1 in 7 who struggle with hunger, and 1 in 5 are children. People who are hungry are not necessarily living on the streets. They may be in your child's classroom, in your neighborhood, or just down the street. In addition, many of these people live in food deserts, which are areas more than 10 miles from the nearest grocery store. Often there are limited resources to get food, and the only option is fast food or convenience markets. While processed food may help with hunger pangs, it provides little to no nutrition. What began in 2008 as a dream to buy land, grow food, and give it away has recently developed into a way to serve and impact more individuals in the community. God has blessed our mission to be a healthy food source to those in need so much, By Faith Farm had to create a nonprofit to continue meeting the need in the community on a larger scale. Visit byfaithfarm.com to get involved. That's byfaithfarm.com.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. That's 800-413-3953.
It's a Bill King Show.
We created a rule decades ago on the show. Weddings, things of that nature, during the playing portion, do not get consideration. No. Don't do that. Weddings are meant for the spring. They do not get consideration during the playing portion of the season. That's just the way we work it around here. That's the way we play it around here.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Five-state forecast.
Your exclusive National Sports Radio, WNSR Sky Scan forecast. For today, we'll have a stray shower, otherwise partly sunny, high 54. Mainly clear tonight, low 34. Sunny Thanksgiving Day, high 60. Partly sunny Friday. Utilizing the resources of the Weatherbug Network on National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi.
Sports Radio, WNSR.
The McFarland Show, broadcasting live in Rutherford County on 107.9 FM.
This should get you in the mood. Mood to be thankful. A lot to be thankful for. Tomorrow we'll fill our bellies up, watch a lot of football.
Yeah.
And spend time with family and friends.
That's the goal.
615-844-5600 is how you can get in touch with the McFarland Show. Let's go to Tony in Nolensville, where I was at last night. Tony, what's up?
Guys, thank you for taking my call. I know you got a lot to cover in the next hour and 15 minutes, so I want to just call in and say I'm thankful for WNSR, thankful for the McFarland Show, bringing us good sports talk, sports entertainment, and letting us callers be a participant and be a part of the show. I want to tell y'all how thankful I am as far as I think many listeners that are out there. I want to say that to y'all right off the bat.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank
we
you, Tony.
appreciate you.
And as far as this weekend, real quick, Vanderbilt, open up the playbook. Clark Lee, let the guys have some fun, create some fun environment. It's not going to hurt nothing if you get beat 59-0 again, okay? Open up the playbook. Have some fun. And, guys, I have to do it. Y'all threw it out there, but it put me down memory lane. What I'm thankful for, used to, and this is how old I am. Y'all might have been here. I don't know. But back in the day, on Thanksgiving Day, they always played the Clinic Bowl. And they played
Murfreesboro.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, they played at Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
And they played at the Clinic Bowl. Was played at Vanderbilt.
Played in Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
And they played in Murfreesboro as well. But the two high school teams they play in, I really missed those days. And then I thought a little bit more what I was thankful for that we all y'all threw out there the restaurants. Boy, these popped off my head just right off the bat was fifth quarter.
Fifth quarter. Hold on. Stop.
Wow.
Fifth quarter. Best salad bar in the city. Fifth quarter.
Charlie's out on Dickerson Road.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the meat and threes, and then like I say, Morrison and Piccadilly, the family restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there were some great ones. Fifth quarter, which was the Jolly Ox before that. So,
Wow.
The Jolly Ox! It was the Jolly Ox. Yes, it was.
Oh, man.
But I had to go down memory lane and say how thankful we all were to experience some of those. And one of my favorites, 101st Airborne. Oh, my gosh. That was a great one. Unbelievable.
Wow.
But, guys, just want to tell y'all, have a good, safe, enjoyable Thanksgiving. And thank y'all for always being there and letting us have a good entertainment sports talk show on WNSR.
Thank you, Tony.
guys.
Thanks for being a part of it, too. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
How about Otter's Chicken?
Wow.
How about that one?
Otter's Chicken. Well, for me, it's Mrs. Winters. Okay.
But remember when Otters was blowing up? I mean, they were everywhere in this town, and then I think they're gone, right?
I haven't seen
I don't
one.
think
if there is one, I don't know what it is. I don't want to, disrespect the good folks at Otters if they're around.
Well, there was one on Demumbrian that was very, very popular, and then they just started branching out all over town. And, Otter's Chicken.
Yeah.
Since we mentioned chicken, Mahalia Jackson Chicken on Jefferson Street.
Man, well, there was a bunch of stuff on Jefferson Street.
That's
a whole other thing. But no, I
don't think Darren ever went down there.
No, Darren was on Jefferson Street. He knows what was over there. But there was a couple.
That was terrible. I'm sorry, Darren.
The Lee's Chicken. That has disappeared over time. I used to see Damon's face just now.
I told you one of the first places I ate at when I came here was Prince's Chicken. Which is why, that's right, you probably weren't on the show when Justin and I know that we used to talk about it. I was like, when did it Nashville hot chicken, that didn't just come to this city. That's been here. One of the first places I ever went to was Prince's Chicken.
It wasn't here like this, though.
25 years ago.
It wasn't here in Mass, and, I don't want to go all down that. But it's weird, though. I will say that. The hot chicken thing, even though I understand. It's just strange to see it in its current commercial form, shall we call it?
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
It's just like, when did this become our Philly cheesesteak? When did we decide that this was going to be our, deep dish Chicago style pizza? When did this become our thing? When did this become our fish market? In Seattle? Like when did we just designated this.
I know, because you go to other places now. I don't know if you've noticed this, and you pick up the menu, it says, I'm talking about other places as in other markets.
Listen,
it says Nashville hot chicken sandwich.
No, it's in France. I was there in France. It's on menus in Paris.
Nashville hot chicken?
Nashville style hot chicken.
Wow.
It's worldwide.
How does that happen though? Because they have to get the.
I don't know. See, that's the thing. I
That's
don't
what we're trying
know.
to,
No.
That's what we've been trying to figure out.
No, they don't need the recipe, Damon. They can just
say it.
They can just say it. There's no recipe.
No.
You can just call it that. I mean, who's got the trademark on Nashville?
But the
hot
question
chicken? Or
is,
you can call it Nashville style.
Well, how did it become? You're asking the question. How did it become a thing? You know, where everybody started referencing Nashville hot chicken.
Well, how did this become our
When
mascot?
It's like, well, hot chicken's been here for a long time.
It's because Prince's Chicken set the standard over on Broadmoor.
No, because Prince's Chicken has been there forever.
Right.
So why now?
There had to be a movement. Like there had to be something happen.
This was intentional.
I don't know what, how.
I think it was Bachelorette weekends. That's probably what happened. Because every time I pick up a Bachelorette, first thing they say, we got to try the hot chicken.
I don't know. I
can't track it.
Don't know.
I can't track it. I'm just saying, we were fine for a long time.
Right.
And nothing against Prince's. I like Prince's. It's been here the whole time.
I know.
But all of a sudden one day we jump up and now, hot chicken.
There's hot chicken places everywhere.
There's, hot chickens on the menu in Paris. And I just don't. I'm looking around at myself like, what happened? When did we get here? Who decided this was going to be, our thing? And it's fine, I guess. I just don't remember it, like being this thing to where we all met and agreed, like, man, this is the thing. Like, we got to put this up so the whole world knows. I don't remember that.
R.I.P. Rotiers.
Yeah.
May it rest in peace.
Yeah.
Damn COVID.
A
lot of good came out of COVID, but that was one of the bad.
Well, it's not
as in good as in we changed how we thought about how to do certain things.
What ruined everything is not so much COVID; it's the rent prices.
Yeah. True.
The rent, the
downtown,
cost of living here in Nashville, and the inability of these places to be able to afford their rent is what has driven a lot of these places out of business more than almost anything else.
Yeah.
So, that's just.
That's why I'm surprised the soda shop actually expanded and got bigger.
Well,
it didn't go away.
You know why?
No, Elliston Place.
Because Tony Garantana bought it.
Okay.
You know who Tony Garantana is?
No.
Do you know the 505 building downtown? The tallest, he owns that.
Okay, that would explain it.
And, and several other large properties. In other words, a multi-millionaire.
He wanted it to stay.
Wanted it to stay.
Okay. That's all you had to
bought
say.
it and made sure that it did.
Somebody with deep pockets said
invested and decided
staying.
it was going to stay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense then. Not only stay, get bigger.
And get bigger, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's take a final break. Come back, wrap up the first hour next.
As a Middle Tennessee-based company, Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers is committed to helping our community. This November, we are honoring our local veterans. Strike and Spare is partnering with We Are Building Lives, a local foundation dedicated to helping veterans get back on their feet. So far, more than 1,100 homeless veterans have been helped off the streets through the We Are Building Lives Foundation. During November, for every $5 donation made to We Are Building Lives, Strike and Spare will give you a free game of bowling. Visit any of our 5 area Strike and Spare centers to donate or visit strikeandspare.com to donate today and help our heroes find a way home.
Bob's Steak and Chop House, located in the Omni Nashville Hotel, is a nationally renowned steakhouse specializing in the finest corn-fed Midwestern prime beef. The menu formula is simple: incredible meat, gigantic shrimp, fabulous salads, and decadent desserts. Start your experience at Bob's with the fried calamari or fresh scallops seared in Texas burnt honey. All the beef at Bob's Steak and Chop House are USDA prime cuts, from the traditional filet of tenderloin and ribeye to the adventurous Kansas City bone-in strip. They even have 2 different surf and turf options. And if you're looking for the other white meat, Bob's Steak and Chop House serves a dry-aged pork tomahawk with homemade applesauce. Fresh seafood is on the menu, from salmon to scampi, and even fresh lobster tail. For reservations, give them a call or log on to the Omni Nashville Hotel website. Bob's Steak and Chop House at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
Jackson Boone Racing.
The youngest driver at age 19 to win the coveted Pro Late Model Series championship at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.
Jackson Boone Racing.
A local kid and Page High graduate who's been winning races since he was 8 years old.
Jackson Boone Racing.
Come join Red Street Records and Roy's Meat Service, along with the Boone Group, a market leader for your home financing needs. In supporting this rising star, visit JacksonBooneRacing.com to see how you can be a part of the journey and join us running up front.
Jackson Boone Racing.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
I believe this franchise right now, unfortunately, is paying for the sins of a lot of bad draft picks and bad signings. You can only dodge that for so long. When you think about going back-to-back years with your first-round pick and get nothing, that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow. It just
The
is.
McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
Welcome back to the Strike and Spare Studios. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Our NFL Top 10 coming up to be in the second hour of the program. Daniel Jones, ACL surgery, out 8 to 10 months
That is
for the
correct.
Giants.
Yeah. That will put him, well, if it's 10 months, that means he wouldn't come back until the start of the regular season. If it's 8 months, that'll get him back in time for preseason next year. So we'll see with that. But
we shall see. Predators tonight honoring David Poile.
Yes.
At Bridgestone Arena for their tilt against the Calgary Flames. So the final tune-up before the Thanksgiving break, or really just Thanksgiving off. They've always played a lot of games this week. In fact, for a good while now, they've usually done this Monday, Wednesday. They've done Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday before this week, Justin, where it's like just like the off day is Thanksgiving. I know, because I lived it.
Wow.
I remember it well.
Okay, well.
It's like, are you guys going out of town? No, I can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
No, tonight it's Calgary. And then again, like I said, Friday it'll be St. Louis. That'll be an afternoon tilt, by the way, on Friday. Is that right? Friday? What is today? What's today's date?
Today's the 22nd.
Yeah, they play on Friday, the 24th, and then Sunday, the 26th.
Okay.
At home, back at home.
Okay.
So they're at St. Louis on Friday, home Sunday night against Winnipeg.
Wow. So that's the one road game, because they were going to play 9 out of their next 10.
Correct.
At home, and the one road affair is not that far. It's up the road in St. Louis. Then they'll turn around and come back for a big game against Winnipeg.
So a very busy week for the Preds. A crarazy game Monday night.
A telling week here is what it's going to be.
Agreed. I would agree with that.
So
they are currently 7-10. They've strung together a couple couple exciting victories. We'll see if that can continue tonight. Like I said, they're honoring David Poile, so it'll be a perfect night to get a third win in a row, and then they'll go to St. Louis and take on the Blues on Friday afternoon at 2:00, and then back here Sunday night to host Winnipeg. If you notice, these are like the teams they're playing here when they were on that long road trip. Remember, they went to Calgary, they went to Winnipeg, And so some of the teams that they were playing out on that road trip playing back here. So a busy, busy week for the Preds. And we'll see if indeed, like they said, get this on a roll. Can Monday night's game maybe start something, a winning streak for them, like a real winning streak where they get into a patch where they win, 7 in a row or 9 out of 10, is that something, a game like that against Colorado? Is that like a game like that? Can that catapult you into a winning streak?
I think it can. But what they've got to show is the consistent talent on this roster to shine. If Phil Forsberg wants to come, be the for real leader and continue to put up goals every night, then listen, the door's open. And by the way, they got to get the scoring up. It's nice, to with 4 goals, but the other night they had 5. They've got to continue getting, for me, 4 goals or more in almost every. For me, that's the mark. I mean, because if the scoring is where we're going here in the NHL, and it's up, they can't win 2-1, 3-2. You got to win now 5-4, 6-5. So that means you got to get the biscuit in the basket if you're them more consistently. And, this season is all about trying to find who can do that and the best way to do that.
Should be a good crowd in the building tonight.
Yes.
The night before Thanksgiving. They've always been good nights because everybody knows you're off tomorrow. So we'll see if that indeed is how it plays out. We'll come back and we will begin the second hour with our Week 12 NFL Top 10. How much has changed? You're about to find out. We'll do that next as you listen to The McFarland Show here on Nashville Sports Radio.
.560 AM, 95.9 FM, Brentwood, Nashville, 107.9 FM, Smyrna, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
ABC News, I'm Rena Roy. A blast occurred on the Rainbow Bridge in Buffalo today, one of the major U.S.-Canada bridge crossings near Niagara Falls. Multiple officials confirm there are fatalities and are attempting to determine if this is intentional or an accident.
The authorities on scene are still trying to figure out the circumstances here, but the FBI is taking the lead, which tells us that at least initially they may be investigating this as potentially an attempted act of terrorism, but that's not necessarily how it's going to turn out. We heard from the FBI that they're investigating this vehicle explosion at Rainbow Bridge, and now the FBI is coordinating with other partners to investigate this very fluid situation, as they call it.
ABC's Aaron Katersky. The tentative hostage release and temporary ceasefire deal reached between Israel could begin as early as tomorrow. In exchange, Israel is expected to release 150 Palestinians held in prisons and allow more aid trucks into Gaza. This is ABC News.
Hey, it's Amanda, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A nugget trays is that they're so easy for the holidays. They're warm and flavorful. It's always a crowd pleaser. When I put down a nugget tray, everyone is happy.
Hey, this is Brian, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A nugget trays is the joy that it brings to me and everybody around me during the holidays. They're warm, juicy, and delicious.
Cater the holidays with Chick-fil-A today. Available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Honey, come here, quick.
What is it?
Shh, check it out. All these highly rated wines are under $20. Total Wine must have made a mistake.
Nope, they always have the lowest prices. Oh, remember that amazing rosé your sister brought over last week? See, it's right here.
Whoa, that's a low price. I mean, whoa, that's a low price.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly. B21.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Dinner with Friends is a fine dining restaurant located in Nashville's prestigious West End. It features an elegant presentation and exceptional service. One of the first non-alcoholic restaurants in Nashville. They pride themselves in professional and courteous service. A popular choice among locals and tourists alike. If you're in in town for the ball game? Or are you just visiting with friends? Dinner with Friends is the preferred location for those seeking a rich, modern restaurant with serene atmosphere and top-notch guest experience. Your server will uphold the high standards of etiquette and hospitality and guide you through a unique dining experience. Enjoy the ambiance and reconnect with friends. Specialty dining will feature a set menu, a dedicated server, and a personal chef. Enjoy a delicious combination of meats and vegetables at a very affordable price. There's no place in Nashville like it. A unique experience. Come and have dinner with friends. 1719 West End Avenue. To make a reservation, call right now. 615-730-9559. Dinner with Friends, a proud sponsor of TSU football on WNSR.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour of the McFarland Show here on this Wednesday. Darren and Justin here with you. We are live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Don't forget, you can watch our show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. They're in Maui. It's the Maui Invitational. Tennessee trailing Kansas 53-57.
Looks like a rerun of yesterday's game.
Yeah, Kansas
against Purdue.
Kansas up 57-53 with about 7.5 minutes to go in that one. After Kansas fell to Marquette last night and Tennessee fell to Purdue. So doing battle out in the Maui Invitational. So Tennessee down 4.
Yeah.
Looking forward to get into all that with Vince on Monday. Also, Villanova leading Texas Tech 47-39. A lot of college basketball games on, and we'll get you a scoreboard a little bit later if there are any games, any other games we need to pass along. Okay, it is time for Week 12's installment of our NFL Top 10.
Let's go!
I don't think a lot's going to change really on my end. This is going to be a little bit less of an eventful week.
Okay.
For me. I had Philadelphia number 1 last week. You go in on the most watched game of the season. Chiefs hosting the Eagles.
That's right.
Actually, the ratings were through the roof. It was one of the, I have to go back and look like how long ratings were unbelievable.
Yeah.
As you can imagine.
Yeah.
By the way, they have the ability now to flex, and you do wonder, don't the Titans play the Dolphins on Monday Night Football?
They do.
Don't you think there's a real shot they could?
There's a possibility that game could be removed.
Bye-bye.
Or moved.
Yeah.
To another time.
Be earlier.
Yeah.
Like
earlier.
Sunday.
The sun is up.
Yeah. Sunday during the day.
Yeah.
Just say. Good game. Kansas City, who was up 17-7 at the half. In control at Arrowhead. Philadelphia's defense came out there and shut them down in the second half. Pretty amazing. Of course, you had the Kevin Byard interception in the end zone. You had the Travis Kelce turnover. So you had Mahomes throwing a pick in the end zone. You had the Kelce, catch and fumble deep in
Philadelphia territory. Yeah.
I don't remember. Was
pretty
it
close
10,
to the red zone? Yeah,
10, 15-yard line,
red
something
zone.
like that. Yeah, maybe. So those were critical plays.
They were.
And you had the critical drops by just about everybody,
especially in the fourth quarter
on the Chiefs. Like they could not catch a Mahomes pass. So the Chiefs fall 21-17 to the Eagles. So if you have the Eagles number 1 last week, and they go to Kansas City on Monday Night Football, and they win 21-17 and shut the Chiefs out in the second half, it's pretty safe to say,
Philadelphia
is going to be number 1 the following week. They look like the well-oiled machine.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Sirianni seems to be the perfect fit in Philadelphia. He is a very, very high-strung, spirited coach. I don't know if you saw the video of him leaving the field and going to the locker room at Arrowhead. And certainly, the reason I'm bringing it up is you don't see a head coach do this. Like, it's very, very rare that you see a head coach.
What do you do?
Chirping at the fans.
Oh, well.
Basically doing a Kirk Cousins. Do you like that?
Yeah, well.
What you got? Talking smack to the fans. That's a head coach in the NFL. And again, there's no harm in that. You don't see that very often.
No.
Remember, it's great when you're winning.
Yeah.
But when you're not,
I mean,
you know what's going to happen.
If you're the Chiefs,
it's like what we talked about with Deion Sanders, right?
Sure.
Like the beginning of the year, you get the win, TCU. Okay, you're going to act this way. That's cool. There's no crime. You're doing nothing wrong. But just know all those people will be waiting and circling.
And they will.
When you start losing. And they will pile on big time. And the same thing will happen with Nick Sirianni whenever this run eventually ends. But it doesn't look like Philadelphia is going to slow down anytime soon.
It wouldn't seem.
They look like the real deal. They look like the complete package.
The folks in Kansas City, though, are probably a little bit more mellow after 2 Super Bowls, to a little chirp than maybe they would have been a couple years ago.
Yeah, fair enough. And clearly they beat Philadelphia last year in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so
I think what I continue to be amazed at, Justin, is I know it's been well documented and discussed heavily this season, the tush push.
Yes.
And they did it again.
They did.
And I know that we've talked about it, and it's well documented. Jalen Hurts, I guess, squats 600 pounds, so he's very, very strong in his lower body. Okay, his lower half.
The video's ridiculous.
But it's more than just that. They did it, and they don't just get a yard.
Oh, no.
The tush push is usually good for 3 to 4 yards.
Yep.
Every time.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it's an unstoppable play for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Others have tried, and it does not look the same.
Well.
So how is that?
Do others have quarterbacks who squat 600?
It's got to be more than just that. I mean, some people have 6'5" quarterbacks. You would think that's got to be good for 2 to 3 yards. Pushing a 6'5" quarterback. No.
He's low to the ground, Jalen Hurts is. He's low to the ground, which actually helps with this. So being 6'5" and Josh Allen is not, what's beneficial here. If you remember the game against Buffalo,
yes.
And here in Nashville, that game ended, if it was the Eagles would have bowled over the Titans at the goal line there to win that game. But instead, you get, a 6'5" quarterback who couldn't get his footing. Jeffrey Simmons came and got him. No, it doesn't matter about the size of the quarterback. It matters about the technique and how strong that lower body is. And once it starts pushing, you can't stop it.
Kansas City had basically their entire front 6 offsides on that play.
Yeah.
Offsides. And they still
can't stop it.
Got 3-4 yards in the end zone.
Can't stop it.
The entire front was offsides.
Yeah.
So you would think it would get stuffed. Now, it wouldn't matter because it would just be a do-over. They'd move it 2 inches and do it again. Yeah, no, they obviously declined because they got 4 yards. And the entire front of Kansas City, which is pretty good, was off sides, and they still made it look easy.
No one's figured it out yet, Darren, but one thing we have found out about this league, remember when no one could figure out the Wildcat for a little while? And, everybody was running that, and it was, this Wildcat is going to change everything. Well, it didn't. It was a flash, and there's some defensive coordinator somewhere sitting in a dark room looking at film trying to figure this out, and they will crack the code eventually. I don't know what they're going to come up with, but they will crack the code.
All right, Philadelphia is my number 1 team. San Francisco was 5 last week. They had made a huge jump. I think they were 9 the previous week after losing 3 in a row. Well, I know they beat up on Tampa Bay, in San Francisco, so it's not an impressive victory, right? It's not like you went, whoa, what? The 49ers beat the Bucs by 2 touchdowns in San Francisco? No, but it does look like the 49ers are back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brock
Certainly
Purdy
seems that way.
went for 333 and 3 touchdowns, and, Ayuk went for over 100 and a touchdown, and Debo's back, and McCaffrey, George Kittle went off, and their defense, by the way, they traded for Chase Young. So they've come back from the bye, and they've been dominant. So they look like the San Francisco of old. It looked like they had their bad patch for 3 straight weeks. They took a week off and said, okay, let's regroup, let's reset, and let's get back to being us. And they look like the 49ers that we watched before the 3-game losing streak.
I agree.
So San Francisco is my number 2 team. Detroit was 3 last week. I said it on Monday's show. Basically, every Detroit Lions team of the last 40 years would have lost that game. They were down 12 with 4.5 minutes to go. Mm-hmm. Yes, it was the lowly Bears. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter. They were down 12 with 4.5 minutes to go, and they won. That is very un-Detroit Lions-like.
It is.
That is not like your father's Detroit Lions. It's not like your grandfather's Detroit Lions. It's not like your brother's Detroit Lions. It's the 2023 Detroit Lions, and they're different. I've been saying it all year.
Okay.
They're different.
Mm-hmm.
And they came back and they won. Detroit is my number 3 team. Crazy to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
AFC, we thought was so good.
Where they at?
And here we sit in Week 12's top 10, and my first 3 teams are NFC teams. Philadelphia, San Francisco, Detroit. Well, let's just go on and make it 4 for 4.
Oh, jeez.
The Dallas Cowboys. Did you go to Carolina and you beat up the Panthers? Yeah, okay. We're not supposed to stand up and give you an ovation, right? You went to Carolina and you beat up on the next opponent of the Titans 33-10. But Dallas, and I said it last week and nothing's changed, if they keep getting this play out of Dak Prescott, they're going to keep winning games. Dak Prescott has been very good. He's not turning the ball over. They actually got a little life out of Tony Pollard.
Yeah, how about that?
For a change, who's been a disappointment this season. We know their defense is good. The Dallas Cowboys are quietly 7-3 on the season. Dallas is my number 4 team. Philadelphia, San Francisco, Detroit, Dallas. 4 teams, 4 NFC teams. Okay, we get to the AFC. I'm not going to punish Kansas City that much. They were the number 2 team last week. They have to move down. They moved down to number 5. You lost at home, by the way. By the way, you've lost at home to 2 NFC teams this year, Philadelphia and Detroit. And in both of those games, you had the dropsies. And so they better figure out the dropsies, Justin, or things won't get better. They have Mahomes. Their defense has still been very good. They have a lot of good things and a lot of things going in their favor. Kansas City's still a very good football team. They come in at number 5. Baltimore Ravens at number 6. And look, they beat up on a Bengals team that probably is going to just keep falling, right, for the rest of the season. Joe Burrow, we know the situation there. It's not good in Cincinnati. They got injuries, and they're just not the same Bengals team. They're just not. Did they rebound and they beat them up by 2 touchdowns and put 34 on them? They did. And so that's still a really good win.
Yeah.
Baltimore's still a very good team. And so, by the way, Odell Beckham had a big day. Over 100 yards receiving.
I saw that.
116 to be exact.
Nice day for him.
But he did get banged up.
Yeah, he
did.
did.
And Mark Andrews is probably done for the season, although they're saying he may come back. Who knows? He's their stud tight end. He is the Lamar Jackson's favorite weapon. I'm not going to punish him yet because I need to see how it looks, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I do know that's a big blow.
Yeah,
So we'll see how it
is.
affects them. I'm not ready to punish them yet. Let me see life without Mark Andrews this week, and then we'll go from there. I think
Okay.
their bye week is the following week.
All right.
It's not this week, it's the following week. At number 7, you know I like the Dolphins. Look, they beat a Raiders team that hadn't lost since Antonio Pierce had taken over.
Yeah.
Max Crosby, if you're just being real about it, and they talk about this a lot in Hard Knocks, he is absolutely in the MVP discussion and should be. But he's never going to win. We know that because it's a quarterback category, and they should give the quarterbacks their own category and then make the MVP the rest of the league.
Watt in Pittsburgh may get it one day here.
I don't believe that.
No,
because he's already had, honestly, in my opinion, he's already had an MVP season and he didn't win.
Okay. I'm just saying.
What did he have? Was it last year, the year before? He had like 18 sacks or something.
I understand. I'm just
didn't
saying
win.
the popularity around him has grown substantially. I just wonder.
Max Crosby's playing out of his mind. Anyway, the Dolphins get the 20-13 win. Tua goes for over 300 yards. Tyreek Hill hurt his hand, still had 10 catches, 146 yards, and a touchdown. Miami's number 7. Jacksonville beat up on the Titans. I don't really need to break it down. We've been breaking it down all week. The Jags, is that good enough? I don't know. We're about to find out.
Yep.
Big tilt this week in Houston against the Texans. Woo! How about that one? Jacksonville's number 8. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. It's the typical Pittsburgh Steeler game, and the Steelers still lost.
Yeah.
And so when it's the typical Steelers game and they lose, something has to happen. Well, Matt Canada got fired. That's what happened. The Browns somehow won with former UCLA quarterback who's got 3 names and isn't very good, but their defense is really, really good, led by Jim Schwartz, who spent the last 2 years here. The Browns just keep finding ways to win. Don't forget, their star running back has been lost for pretty much the whole season, and they're still finding ways to win. The Cleveland Browns are my number 9 team. Now, I want you to sit down. Oh, wait a minute, you are.
I am.
I want you to buckle up, okay? Safety first for my number 10 team.
All right,
Strap in.
We're in.
It's going to get a little bumpy here because you're not going to believe this one, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
All right, come on with it.
My number 10 team right now.
Yes, sir.
In the National Football League.
Yes.
Going into week 12 of the NFL season.
Yeah.
And if we would have had odds on this in training camp of this happening, I can't imagine what the odds would have been. It would have been really, really high. Like high as in
not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's happening on mine.
Okay.
Now, they've got it. I've already touched on it. Huge game this week. The Houston Texans are impressive. They are. CJ Stroud is impressive.
Okay.
D'Amico Ryans, first-year head coach, is impressive. All those draft picks that they had and some of those guys they've drafted have been impressive.
Working out.
They got guys catching balls nobody ever heard of coming into this season.
True.
And they're having big years out of them. It's like whoever CJ Stroud wants to make good, he's making good. Oh, by the way, there was a tight end that was good in Dallas that went to Houston. His name is Dalton Schultz, and he looks like a rock star this year. By the way, the Titans could use a good tight end again. You know, we've been spoiled by great tight end play in this market for a long time. We are no longer spoiled.
No, we're not.
By great tight end play. Justin McFarland.
Hi.
The Houston Texans are my number 10 team.
Oh, boy. You got a whole lot of disrespect going on your list. And that's fine. I mean, it's your list, so, you know.
Yeah.
God bless America. You're entitled to have it.
And this is the day before Thanksgiving.
Hey, absolutely.
God bless America.
God bless America.
We'll come back. We'll get the other half of the McFarlands. We'll get Justin's top 10. We'll do the next.
Woods Equipment Company would like to recognize and salute our veterans and local men and women in uniform. Let's remember them with our thoughts, prayers, and especially letters and packages from home. Our support will keep America strong. This important message is courtesy of Woods Equipment Company at 600 Davidson Street in Nashville, where they feel our area is a great place to live and raise a family. Call Woods Equipment Company at 615-256-5639.
Post-COVID travel is on a surge. Many of you are traveling for fun because you've been locked up for 2 years. Listen, whether you're traveling for fun to Italy, Greece, Spain, France, or somewhere else fun in the world, or USA, now is a great time to book before the crowds hit and save. Plus, with a strong U.S. dollar, you'll get more travel bang for your buck. Right now is a smart time to make your reservations and call low-cost airlines. With one phone call, you can let us do all the work for free. We'll shop hundreds of airlines, hotels, resorts, and give you a way to save huge money on your vacation plans. And if you call right now, we'll give you a free hotel room with a qualified travel purchase. So call right now.
800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. That's 800-704-1662.
How about Thanksgiving, though? Right here at the Omni. Experiences matter here at the Omni. Celebrate Thanksgiving right here at Kitchen Notes with its amazing and expansive holiday brunch that can only add to the wonderful memories of the holiday season. The Kitchen Notes Thanksgiving Feast features multiple entrees, including sorghum, glazed ham, and pan-seared salmon, while the action stations boast smoked prime rib and tender roasted turkey with all the traditional fixings. You're gonna not want to forget that. It's so good. Also, save up some room for those very sweet endings. Thanksgiving brunch with family and friends at Kitchen Notes. Meals for children ages 5 and younger are complimentary. Make your reservations now by visiting kitchennotesnashville.com. Get you some delicious food.
Do you want to work at the OG of hot chicken, Princess Hot Chicken Tanker, Outlet Mall, 4060 Cane Ridge Parkway, Suite 102 in Antioch? Princess is looking for fun, energetic, and friendly smiling faces as food runners and cashiers. They're also looking to create an amazing culinary team to carry on the Princess tradition. Interested in working in a great environment with great hourly wages? Submit a resume to princesshotchickenafh@gmail.com or fill out an application on the Princess Hot Chicken website. That's princesshotchicken.com. PrincessHotChicken.com.
The TSU Tigers men's basketball team with fifth-year coach Penny Collins are coming off a top 3 OVC finish last season and looking for much more this season. Led by preseason all-conference guards Marcus Fitzgerald and Kenyon Hodges, the Tigers face an impressive non-conference schedule that includes Oregon, Lipscomb, Austin Peay, Indiana State, and Liberty, and tip-off league play on December 28th at Gentry Center versus UT Martin. Hello, this is Greg Pogue inviting you to join longtime TSU broadcaster Albert Dawson on all of the games this season right here on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
It is time for Justin McFarland's NFL Top 10. Here he is, everybody.
All right, let's take it away and let's get the music going. Please, sir. Need the music of NFL films. Yes, Frozen Tundra. There we go. Top 10 list for November the 22nd, year of our Lord, 2023, is as followed for me, Justin McFarland. This is my top 10 list, the top 10 in the National Football League, according to me, Justin McFarland. Let's take a look at what we've got going on. We're going to start with the Philadelphia Eagles. It's kind of a no-brainer. They're the number one team in the National Football League right now. It would be hard to take it away from them, even though they were a drop touchdown pass away from not being the number one team. A.J. Brown did not have his best night of his career against the Kansas City Chiefs. But, you know,
he was actually very quiet.
It doesn't matter when you win, and they won. So I'm just saying they didn't look invincible in that win down in Kansas City. And we'll see if that matchup ever happens again, if things would be a little different. But good for the Eagles. They're number one for right now. And they're number one on my list by a shoestring, really. And they just barely won that game. All right, the number two team on my list is going to be those San Francisco 49ers who have returned back to dominant form. Going for the Floridian sweep as they beat up on the Jacksonville Jaguars one week and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the next week. They look strong. They look like the team that we saw before. It looks like the 3-game lull is over, and they are ready to rock and roll now. So the 49ers, congratulations to them. They are the number two team on my list. Now, this is where things start to change for me. The number three team on my list, and I can't sit up here and pretend like I love doing this and love saying this because I don't. But, you know, I still don't trust them at the end of the year. I don't. But, you know, what can I do? If the playoffs started today, and they don't, but if the playoffs started today, it would be the Baltimore Ravens with the first round bye and the number one seed in the AFC. And because of that, they are the number three team on my list. The number three team are going to be those Baltimore Ravens. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with them going down the stretch. But no question about it, they're 8-3 right now. They're doing it. Okay, so good news for the Ravens. We'll see if they can hold up. Number four for my list. I am not going to punish the Kansas City Chiefs any further. They are the number four team on my list because they lost by a drop touchdown. And by the way, the touchdown that was dropped was a beautiful throw by Mahomes. He stepped back. Stepped back and threw a perfect strike to the end zone that most certainly probably would have won the game. I mean, things happen. The Eagles could have come back and done their thing. But, you know, it was a beautiful pass, a dime by Mahomes, who deserves better than to have it drop in the end zone. But it did. It happens. There's a whole lot of things, if and buts, you know. Kansas City, my number four team. Number five for me are those pesky Dallas Cowboys who continue to show up and look good, but untrustworthy all at the same time. The Dallas Cowboys look fine. You know, they won their game here, but in all honesty, does anybody believe what they saw out of the Cowboys? I mean, are they going to be able to show up against a good team and do that? Are they going to be able to go on the road to Detroit or Philadelphia and win these games? That's the way I'm thinking about it. They're the number 5 seed right now. Number 5 seed. If the playoffs began today, they would take on Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints. Can you say for certain the Cowboys are winning that game? I can't. You know, and that would be the opening playoff game for them. The Dallas Cowboys, number 5 on my list so far. Number 6 is going to go to Sunshine. We're talking about Trevor Lawrence, who looks like, you know, his best impression of the quarterback from Meet the Titans. People have been saying that forever. And he's starting to play like him, too. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Did you say Meet the Titans?
What is it? Remember the Titans. Listen, told you movies are not my forte. This is what I get for trying to movie reference. That's my fault. That's E. McFarland on this side.
You were getting frisky.
You know, that's E. Justin on that one. Shouldn't have tried that one. Should have left that over there. That's what I get for chasing waterfalls instead of sticking to the rivers and lakes I'm used to. Remember the Titans is the movie. Sunshine was the quarterback. He looks a lot like, reminds people of Trevor Lawrence anyway. The Jacksonville Jaguars look good. They look good. They're not going to play the Titans every week. That much is clear. But they're the number 6 team on my list for this week. All right, number 7. We're going to stay in Florida, go down the road to Miami. The Miami Dolphins coming in at number 7. The Dolphins didn't do anything overly impressive. They won a game they were supposed to win, and that's what you got to do in the National Football League. They are still a high-octane team that did not turn out that many points. What was it, 21 points this weekend for the Dolphins?
20-13.
20-13. That's not the typical high-powered, 5-6 touchdowns we see from them on an average week. The Raiders did a good job clamping them down. They just didn't have enough offense on their own. So the Dolphins, they won it. Dolphins at number 7 on my list. Number 8, let's go to Detroit and find those Motor City Kitties that Darren loves so much and has put them high. Darren has insisted that the Detroit Lions are different this year. I will give them this. The Detroit Lions did win games that is uncharacteristic of them historically. I will give them that. Are they different? They can't be different until January. And so, Justin, you got to punish them until January? Yes, I am. Because it's been 30 years, since they won. It's been a long time. They've had whole Hall of Fame careers come and go and still didn't win playoff games. This matters not. They have got to go to January and get those demons off their backs. Until they do, they are untrustworthy.
So you dropped them a spot after their victory.
Yes.
Week. You dropped them.
Not impressed.
Oh, not impressed.
No.
Okay.
And by the way, if they're so good, why are they losing to the Bears with 4 minutes to go?
Well, it's because it's the NFL.
Well, yeah,
That's
I know.
That's why we do this.
Yes,
it's hard. It's hard to win.
Listen,
in the NFL.
According to some of the other people, and we haven't done this here, thank goodness. But according to some others, the Titans are not going to win another ball game this year. They're going to bottom out and finish 3-14 because what we saw this past Sunday is how they're going to play every week from here on, like we've never seen a football game before. Come on, guys. Grow up a little bit, please. Come on now. They ain't not going to look like that all the time. This wins and losses. Teams rise up, teams fall. Come on now. Just calm down.
Tommy DeVito got sacked 9 times.
Yeah.
I've had the Giants as the worst team in the league, 2 or 3 weeks in a row?
Yeah.
He got sacked 9 times.
They won.
He's the 3rd-string quarterback on the road.
Yeah.
And they won.
They won.
And one more quick thing.
Sure.
They never trailed.
No.
They never trailed in the game.
Yeah.
The Giants at Washington with a 3rd-string quarterback who got sacked 9 times.
Yeah. I'm putting this out here just...
It's the NFL.
And this is not... And thank you for going there. I do want to make this pause here real quick to address that because I've been hearing that over and... Listen, I'm listening now. I don't have a lot of time in my life. I'm doing stuff. I got to keep other world affairs straight in my head, at the same time and doing the sports and stuff. But I'm listening to some of these, the fan vlogs and videos, and I'm reading the posts, and I'm listening to the call. I hear it. Those of you who think the Titans are going to go, what is it, 3 and, 3-14. I mean, if that happens, that happens. But just let it happen. Don't call for it. Don't just say, oh, it's over. They're never going to win another game. They're terrible. They're both rich. Yeah. And what did the Broncos fans say after they got 50-pieced earlier this year? Right?
50.
They got 50-pieced earlier this year. And all of a sudden now they're winning ball games and they don't look like the worst team anymore.
Won 4 in a row.
What happened? I thought they were the worst team ever. Remember that? They were the worst team ever. Historically bad. What happened? Gotta stop. All right. I forget where I am.
That was good.
What?
You feel better?
I do, actually.
I was to say.
I need to get that off me a little bit.
If you didn't, I would be disappointed.
I need to get that off me a little bit because these, folks drive me nuts a little bit with some of that.
Huh?
The hyperbolic. Oh, the Buffalo Bills. You see them last September? They won the Super Bowl last September, especially after that Monday night game against the Titans. They were unstoppable, and then stop, everybody. Stop living week to week. Live the whole season. All right.
Are you saying you want us to stop doing this?
No, I'm fine doing this because we live within, what happens here. We're judging, now you week to week a little bit, but I'm judging the whole season. But we'll find out.
Do I feel like I need to take up an offering like Sunday morning?
Take up an offering?
Yeah, it was like a sermon right there.
It felt like a sermon? Do you feel cleansed? Is that what you're saying?
I feel much better.
Okay.
Why didn't you raise your hand?
Well,
I don't know if I ain't
you
called
weren't
for
feeling
that.
it too
no,
much.
Hold on. not trying to invoke the spirit.
You
in
didn't
here
sway
now.
or anything. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I was dozing like a lot of people do at church.
Yeah, that's the reason. That's the reason. All right. The Detroit Lions, number 8 on my list. And, listen, they can show me in January. Number 9 on my list are going to be the Seattle Seahawks.
Get out of here.
What happened? Why can't they be number 9? What happened? Is there a problem? What happened?
They just lost.
So what? What's
to
the
the
problem?
Rams.
And what happened?
They just lost to the Rams.
And so that means they can't be number 9 no more? What happened?
Detroit.
What about them?
Detroit won and you dropped them?
Just,
Seattle loses
It's
to
just-
the Rams?
That's fine.
And you have them number 9?
Yeah. Yeah, I have the Rams. Seattle's way more trustworthy than Detroit is. They are.
They lost to the Rams.
So what? And what? And so what happened?
Oh, my gosh.
And so what?
You need to get off the Seattle stuff.
And so what? And so what happened? The Eagles lost to the Jets earlier this year. So what does that mean?
Yeah, well,
you just said
they're
yourself,
10-1.
this is the NFL.
They're
Isn't that what you
10-1.
just said? Didn't you just say, well, it's the NFL, Justin? Didn't you just say that?
They're 6-4. Let's not
What's the
act
problem?
like they're 10-1.
And they're number 9. I don't have them number 1. I got them number 9. That's appropriate place for a 6-4 team.
To the Rams.
And so what's the problem now?
That's the problem.
That's the problem because they lost to the Rams?
Yes.
Now we're being punished because they lost to the Rams?
Yes.
No.
The Rams, which is one of the worst teams in the NFL?
Yeah.
No, they're not. The Rams are 4-6. They're mediocre.
4-6.
Yeah. It's not like the Rams were winless. Let's not pretend now.
Okay.
No, the disrespect is
curious.
really amazing.
Detroit, he's got Detroit one spot above Seattle.
I do.
Who just lost to the Rams.
Yes.
And they're 6-4.
Yes.
Okay.
I do not.
And what's the Titans record? 3-7?
I don't have the Titans. What do the Titans have to do with this?
All right. Who's number 2?
Okay. All right. Let's move on to number 10 here. By the way, Seattle, the playoffs began today. They would take on the 49ers in the first round.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Interesting. Number 10, the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, no Steelers this week, huh?
Nah, not this week. Not
They're
after.
gonna punish them, huh?
No, yeah.
Number 14
They
last
lost.
week?
They lost in the phone booth.
Number 14 last
Lost
week.
in the phone booth.
Out of the top 10.
Out.
Number 4 last
Just the way
week.
it fell. Listen, if the playoffs began today, the Steelers would make it barely. They'd be the number 7 seed. Cleveland would be the number 5 seed. They would have a game on the road against the Miami Dolphins. Wouldn't that be interesting? That defense would get a little test there down in Miami. But they're number 10 because they won the game. Listen, whether it was the Steelers' fault or whatever, this is the NFL. It happens. Kansas City would be number 1 if the guy caught the touchdown pass. He didn't. He dropped it. It's the way it works. Cleveland probably not supposed to win that game. Guess what they did? They're number 10 on my list. So that's Philly, number 1. San Francisco, number 2. Baltimore, number 3. Kansas City, number 4. Dallas, number 5. Jacksonville, number 6. Miami, number 7. Detroit, number 8. Seattle, number 9. Cleveland, number 10. As for the worst team, Darren, I don't have one, and this is why. Because I'm having a worst team bowl that's coming up here this weekend as the Tennessee Titans take on the Carolina Panthers.
So
Whoever
the loser
loses that game will
that's-
automatically get to be the worst team in the NFL for that week. That's the way I'm shaping it. So there is a dead tie for the worst team right now as the Panthers take on the Titans.
I'll fill it in Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, you can go ahead and fill it in Sunday afternoon.
Okay. I'm going to go with Carolina.
Okay, fair enough.
Carolina's the worst team.
That's fair.
They're not good.
They're not.
At all.
They're not.
So if they come in here and beat the Titans, those people that think they're going to lose out, I may be one of those too.
Okay. I understand.
They lose at home to Carolina.
I understand. I get it.
615-844-5600. We're wide open. The rest of the way, we'll come back. More of the McFarland Show next.
Fill the halls with shouts of winning. Fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be giving. Fa la 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 la. Instant games to friends and family. Fa la 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 la. Join the joyous cash prize carol. Fa la 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 la.
With top prizes up to $500,000, holiday instant games from the Tennessee Lottery make grand gifts. Find them at your nearest Tennessee Lottery retailer today. Please play and gift responsibly.
Located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers is one-stop shopping for all your liquor, beer, and wine needs and has been a multiple winner annually in the Best of Rutherford County voting for Best Liquor Store and Top Wine Shop. Featuring the lowest prices, the best customer service with unsurpassed knowledge, City Slickers offers the largest craft beer selection in Rutherford and southeastern Davidson counties and has beer on tap at its Growler filling station. City Slickers also sells mixers, sodas, snacks, tobacco products, and the Tennessee Lottery, and can place special orders and assist with all your events and even wedding planning. Make sure you follow City Slickers on all their social media or just give them a call at 615-280-7469. That's 615-280-7469. Located in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. That's 800-413-3953.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Tennessee needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Jim Rome is here weekdays 11 to 2 on Nashville Sports Radio, WNSR.
Give the show a couple of weeks. You're not going to like it. Nobody likes this show the first time they heard it. My wife hated the show. I married her. Give it 2 weeks. If after 2 weeks you can honestly say to me, you know what? I listened every day for 2 weeks, and the truth is, I hate you more now than I did the first day. Then I'm going to be man enough to say to you, you know what? You probably aren't that smart.
Jim Rome, 11 to 2 on Nashville's original sports radio, WNSR.
You're listening live from the Strike and Spare Studios, downtown Music City. It's the McFarland Show.
Appropriate music bringing us back.
Mm-hmm.
Let's head to the phone lines. Let's talk to Dr. Detroit. Dee Dee, what's up?
Lose yourself. Dr. Detroit, you there? Dee Dee?
Hello? Hello?
Apparently he lost himself.
We lost him.
Or we lost him.
We got all kinds of activity.
Okay.
Maybe he was just rocking out to the little Eminem.
Little Eminem there. You know, that's where
a Detroit special.
That song's an Academy Award winner.
Yeah. Let's
Dr. Detroit, you there?
Ground control to Major Tom.
Dee Dee, what's up?
How are you guys?
Great, how are you?
And the Lions are 8th. What major malfunctions going on with you guys today?
Oh, whoa. Do not say you guys. You direct it to the proper McFarland, sir.
That's fine.
You're your protege. I thought maybe y'all agree on all these picks, and
no, these are not joint.
Just
this
because
is not a joint
we
list.
are both McFarlands,
this is
does
not a joint
not
list.
mean we agree.
This is not a joint list. Not a joint list.
I don't want no war. I want to save the war until
no.
tomorrow morning. Doing good. Happy Thanksgiving. Go ahead and
Same
shout
to
that
you,
out.
sir.
Same to you, man.
Watch
Same to
your
you.
watch your girlish figures, your Ally McBeal figures. We don't want to overdo it, but the Lions will be eating Wisconsin cheddar cheese with their turkey sandwiches after the game tomorrow. So I'll go ahead and nip that in the bud.
They need to win a Thanksgiving game. This just in. Their record has been quite poor here in the last about 15 years. Wouldn't you say?
In what form and fashion, sir?
The Lions on Thanksgiving. They haven't done very much winning. Yeah, they could use a victory.
Well, no, they can definitely use a victory. I mean, that's a traditional game that it's a must-win. I mean, you cannot disappoint the citizens of Michigan, fans throughout Michigan, Toledo, and beyond. No, Thanksgiving Day you should work stride to stride to come out with a victory. And, hey, they did that against a good Buffalo team last year, but came out short. But, now we're a different team. We're kicking on all cylinders, and now I will start bragging. I mean, we come from behind within 4 minutes and score 2 touchdowns to go out and win the game. And then the week before, San Diego, San Diego's not a bad team.
Los Angeles.
Oh, God, yeah, Las Vegas or Los Angeles. Yeah, God, that makes me sick. I tell you. I mean, it's just traditional. We were born and raised to know who these teams were and the proper cities that they represent. And it's just an abomination. But anyway, I do not know the point spread of the game tomorrow. You guys have it?
Not in front of me.
Yeah,
but we can find it.
By the way, the last time, go on and just take a guess. The last time, the Lions are favored by 7.5. And obviously they should beat the Packers. But when's the last time they won on Thanksgiving? Care to guess the year?
God, I'll give it a valiant effort. 2013, 14, I can't remember.
16.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Who was the opponent?
It was I don't know the opponent.
They went to the playoffs that year.
Fair enough.
It was the year they went to the playoffs.
Last time they went to the playoffs.
Fair enough. Okay. Now for the NCAA.
Okay.
It sort of shocked me that Missouri leapfrogged over my Louisville Cardinals. There's got to be a theory behind that.
They play in the SEC.
Anyway,
that's the theory.
Well, see, there you go. And guess what? SEC's got every bragging right there is because the most powerhouse teams do come out of the SEC, except for the Wolverines. I guess and those daggum Buckeyes. See, that's the only thing I hate about going to Detroit. I got to go through that whole damn Buckeye state just to get there. You can start laughing now. That was pretty good at Dr. Detroit.
They beat Minnesota,
anyway,
DD. They beat Minnesota in 2016.
Did they really? Oh, my brother's team.
Yep.
What arch rivals. His love of Fran Tarkenton, and I had number 11, Greg Landry. Well, anyway, I'll get off. Just want to say hi and happy Thanksgiving and share amongst the leftovers throughout the weekend.
Yes, sir.
See you guys.
Have a great day.
Thank you, Dr. Detroit.
So they have lost 6 in a row.
Yeah.
They had won 4 in a row before that. And then they lost 9 in a row before that. So lost 9 in a row.
Yeah.
Won 4 in a row. Have lost the last 6 in a row. So that makes what? 4 and 15?
Yeah.
In the last 19 Thanksgiving
last 2
games?
decades, yeah.
4 and 15. But they should beat the Packers.
They should.
Right? They should. Let's go to Nate. Nate, what's up?
What's up, guys? I got a couple things for you.
Sure.
Justin, what in the HE double Preds hockey sticks are you doing?
I'm putting together a top 10
He's
list.
smoking a turkey.
By this, he's smoking something. By what this top 10 is, next or tomorrow, the Lions will beat the Packers by 14, and you'll have them 15th. I don't understand your process.
I understand.
But in all sincerity, guys, Really appreciate what y'all do. There are radio shows around town that say we are all for the listeners. Y'all are the only show in town that's for the listeners. We basically can talk about almost whatever we want within reason, and y'all are cool with it. A lot of other shows have strict schedules they want to go by, and they make you wait on the phone for almost an hour just to get pissed off and hang up. So I appreciate what y'all do.
Well, we appreciate you listening.
Thank
and we
you, Nate.
appreciate you interacting with the show, Nate.
And Nate, it's intentional. What you just said, this is what we set out to do.
It's done for a reason.
I'm glad you you and the other listeners are appreciative of it, because it is what me and Darren set out to do with this show. Is exactly what you said. So that it almost makes me emotional. So thank you, sir. I mean that. That's
all right,
cool.
Nate. Yeah, no, I do too. So I'm glad he said that. All right, we'll come back. Eric, we'll get to you, and we will call it a week. You're listening to the McFarland Show, Nashville Sports Radio.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. The package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. Visit starleasing.com to learn more.
When you've experienced the loss of a loved one, you can trust SAG Funeral Home to guide you through the process of honoring their life. At SAG Funeral Home, they pride themselves in serving families in Nashville and surrounding areas with dignity, respect, and compassion. The staff is experienced in a variety of funeral services and can help you celebrate your loved one, no matter your religion, culture, or budget. Family and veteran-owned funeral home and cremations now are handled all in one location. We'll help create a personalized experience to pay tribute to your loved one's unique life. Ask about the pre-planning service as well. SAG Funeral Home, serving Nashville and Middle Tennessee for over 40 years. In your time of need, you need someone you can trust who can provide comfort to your family in a very professional way. SAG Funeral Home, 1503 Buchanan Street. Call today, 615-244-5044. 615-244-5044. SAG Funeral Home, for comfort and care in your time of need. SAG Funeral Home, proud sponsor of TSU football on WNSR.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
And now, All Good Heat and Air is reminding motorists to slow down on our roadways, keep an eye out for kids at play, and never text and drive. This message is brought to you by All Good Heat and Air, serving the community for 5 years. For all your HVAC home service plans, give the pros a call today at 931-575-7039. 931-575-7039. That's All Good Heat and Air, going the extra mile for safety. They're professionals who care.
This is the Greg Vogue and John Burton Show.
Derrick Henry's next.
Yeah, I think this is the first of several moves. I do. I think the Titans realize where they are. I think it's a reality check, and I think there could be more moves. I really do. You wake up one morning, you realize it's time to do some different things here. I think that's what it is, so I don't think they're done dealing.
Greg Vogue and News Channel 5's John Burton, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
The McFarland Show. Video streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube from the Strike and Spare studio.
615-844-5600. I know we don't have jazzy music for you like Greg and John do, but we do appreciate, Eric, you calling in, even though, like I said, we don't give you special music when you call in. So apologies from the McFarland Show.
And Eric, just let you know, we're limited on time today, my friend.
Okay.
So go ahead.
I'm gonna go quick, guys. I thought I was having trouble because the phones were messed up a little bit. But Darren, you shouldn't be surprised. Justin had the Titans at 7-6, number 10 last year. But okay, here we go. My top 10 list: Houston at number 10, Jacksonville at number 9.
Wait a
Dallas
minute,
at number
did you
8.
say Houston 10?
Yeah.
All
I got the
right.
Texans at number 10 too.
Okay.
Dallas at number 8, San Francisco at number 7, Cleveland at number 6, Miami at number 5, Kansas City at number 4. Baltimore at number 3, Detroit Lions at number 2, and number 1, Philadelphia Eagles. Nick Sirianni was also doing that fly Eagles fly on the sidelines. And also, defensive line, the Eagles almost intercepted a pass that Patrick Mahomes tried to spike. And consider this, too, guys, Sunday, another team, the Giants and the Patriots, they're playing against each other Sunday. So to lose that game could be considered one of the worst teams in football. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. We'll talk to y'all next week.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you, sir. We'll take that.
I mean, he had Cleveland 6.
I mean,
Cleveland 6. I mean, we both got him in the top 10, but
people who live in glass houses.
Dorial Thompson, Green Beckham, or whatever his name is. I don't even know his name. The dude from UCLA. What's
I know.
His name?
I don't know. It's fine. You know,
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Listen. No, we're not gonna do that.
Some LA
I
guy
understand
with
that.
3 names.
I know. I'm just saying that he can. If he's that good, he'll make himself known here before long.
If he was that good, did you watch Sunday?
I did. Listen. It is what it is, right? Listen,
They
won the football game.
They did.
They won the football game. Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Sure. A lot of last names.
Hey.
Does he have a first name?
Dorian.
Okay.
Dorian
Sounds
Thompson
like 3 last
Robinson.
names.
Listen, it happens.
But, I mean, they got to ride with him the rest of the year.
Yeah, they got to.
And they may find a way to get in because it is interesting. Like, I think spots 6 and 7 in the AFC are going to be fascinating.
Yeah.
Because are the Bills going to get back in this thing? Are the Broncos going to get in this thing? Are the Texans going to get in this thing?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of Pittsburgh. Are they going to stay in the hunt?
It's all
Cincinnati. By the way, who's Cincinnati play this week? Steelers, right?
The Steelers, yeah.
If the Bengals lose, is it kind of safe to say they may be done?
Probably so.
Yeah.
But it's all interesting. But they all got to go to Kansas City at some point. And to me, that's what I'm thinking about.
Thank you
for
your participation, for listening, making us a part of your day, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 o'clock.
Hey, guys.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, Damon.
I'm looking forward to seeing Detroit, buddy.
We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
CBS Sports Radio. This is the Zach Gelb Show. Here's your host, Zach Gelb.
All righty, rocking and rolling. It is the Zach Gelb Show on CBS Sports Radio. We'll get to Take 5 in just a second. John Jansen's going to join us coming up 20 minutes from now. The former Michigan offensive lineman, the host of Necessary Roughness with Lang and Jansen to preview the big game, the game between Michigan and Ohio State, which I'll be in attendance for in the Big House on Saturday. I first don't want to play for you before we get to Take 5, and I give you my top 5 teams in college football in the NFL. This is Andrea Kramer on Real Sports with Brian Gumbel talking to Colts owner Jim Irsay on his 2014 DUI arrest. Listen up.
I am prejudiced against because I'm a rich white billionaire. If I'm just the average guy down the block, they're not pulling me in. Of course,
Do you know what it's going to sound like if people hear you say they're prejudiced against a rich white
I don't care what it sounds like. It's the truth. I don't, Andre, I could give a damn what people think, how anything sounds or sounds like. The truth is the truth, and I know the truth.
Well, Jim Irsay's a fraud. Here's why. Because you could give a damn what people think about you, but now you are going on a tweeting tirade and a rant about something that I guess Stephen A. Smith and Molly Karam and Kimberly Martin said today. Yeah, you're freaking out, going nuts on Twitter. I'll get to those tweets in just a second. But Jim Irsay was arrested. He pled guilty, too, to DUI. Now, he claims the reason why he failed the sobriety test was because he just had hip surgery and he couldn't walk. So even though he may look at this and say publicly, it wasn't worth it putting up with the legal fees and all of that, you're worth so much money. If you wanted to clear your name and you legitimately had hip surgery and that's why you couldn't walk, wouldn't you not plead guilty? So this is a joke, and let me say this too, because tonight a lot of people go